I haven't always been an artist. I've worked in several fields that are totally unrelated to art. I'm doing this video because I believe something I'll share here might be beneficial to someone watching it, someone who's probably on their start to art, or probably you're even trying to fall into a different field from what you're currently doing, and you just need some courage. So just stick around. Let's get into the thick of it. Hi again. If there's something you must know about me, I'm an artist's daughter. Yes, my late dad was an artist. And I think among his kids, I was the one who showed the keenest interest in what he was doing. I had a stay-at-home dad, where every other person had a stay-at-home mom. My mom said even as a toddler, she didn't need to look for me if she couldn't find me. You know how your heart misses a beat when there's a toddler in your house that you can't find and everywhere has gone quiet? Well, for me, she said she always had to go to my dad's table and she'll find me beneath his arm, looking at what he was doing. So their bedroom was partitioned and part of it was his studio. My dad specialized in textile. He was a textile designer, and he did not have formal training as well. Just like me, he started out in a different field. And he used to work with Ariwa Textiles. Ariwa Textiles was a huge textile company in Kaduna, in the northern part of Nigeria. Ariwa literally means north. So I don't have a clue which department he started off into, but this is what I know. I know that later on he used to tell the story about how he used to go into the design room and picked interest in what they were doing there. He started learning how to use mediums, brushes, traditional mediums, brushes, ink, watercolor, poster colors, gouache, and the works. He worked mainly in water-based colors, not oil or acrylic. And he got good at it. And something else is that textile design is a mix of science and art. So you put in the science with the dimensions and everything, then you put in the art for the beauty, and then you have to repeat your patterns, which is still part of science, so that it flows. So when you stretch out a fabric, there's a consistency in the patterns. And remember, those were in the days of digital art. Now, from Ariwa, he worked in Kano. That was now United Textiles. Kano is also a border state with Kaduna, where Ariwa Textiles was. So he'd finish his work, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, get back to the United Textiles and get paid and come back to Kaduna. And that was our life, basically. In primary school, I seemed a bit above average. Many parents tell their kids, I used to take first in class. Mine was real. It wasn't fake. I wish I had digital evidence because most of my results can't be found right now. But I think there's a logical explanation to that. I used to take keen interest in my elder sister's textbooks and notebooks. If you do this, if you have an elder sibling and maybe you study with them, you challenge them, you're also there when they do homework. Tendency is when you get to the class, you'd be way above your mates academically. And I think that was what happened to me in secondary school. But when I got into, that was what happened to me in primary school. So when I got into secondary school, it was a different thing because now you meet people from different walks, children actually your age, from different walks of life. You could have, and the highly competitive ones were the children who came from homes where parents were academics or highly established professionals. So the competition kicked in. And this is a confession most of my mates would know. I didn't really enjoy school. Why? Because in hindsight, I was pursuing the wrong things. If probably I would, square peg, round hole, or round hole, square peg, round hole. So if I was probably in the arts, encouraged at an early age, I probably would have enjoyed school a bit more. But when you have that stress of trying to keep up with the Joneses, well, not materialistically, but academically, doing cutthroat, competitive subjects that you were just no good at, but you were there to please your parents, then there's a problem. Now, fast forward, third year in secondary school, which we call Gestry in Nigeria. It could have been Gestry, it could have just been before Gestry. We had to go on an excursion. And the finance department of my secondary school then organized that we had to go to APU. APU is in full, Ahmadu Bello University. And we went to the Faculty of Arts for an excursion. And I was like a kid in a candy shop. Going through all the departments, sculpture, painting, ceramics, I'm there now, but I could still remember the joy I had looking at all those things. It intrigued me, it captivated me. And I went home and I told my dad, I said, Dad, when I get into uni, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into arts, I'm going to apply to ABU, I'll be in the Faculty of Art. And I think I said I was going to do either textile design, which he did, or I was going to do industrial design or painting or something like that. And that was when we had the talk. And I'm going to tell you what the talk was about in a minute. So just stick around.
Creating and self-publishing a children's book that stands out is no easy feat. And that's why I recommend you get an experienced teacher. Hi, my name is Vivian Uwakwe, and I am a children's book author and illustrator. I have been able to successfully publish my own children's books and serve my clients better because I attended a special authors workshop run by April Cox. April is a successful self-published author herself, whose Little Labradoodle series has sold several copies around the world and received many awards. In 2022 alone, April helped several children's books authors in her work group publish a total of 127 children's books. Her expertise is just simply unrivaled. In her 12-week author work group, April handholds you from scratch to finish. She shares valuable insights and equips you with everything you need to come out with a top-notch children's book of premium quality. You will be enrolled in a class and get tutored one-on-one by April herself throughout the entire duration of the workshop. You will also get special sessions with experts in various aspects of self-publishing like storytelling, editing, illustration, design, printing, branding, and marketing. You will get lifelong access to a library containing tons of video tutorials and several resources you will never get elsewhere. Another extra thing is that you'll have exclusive access to a directory with contact details of professionals who have integrity. You could engage them to help you with any aspect of self-publishing you have little or no expertise in. And when you finish, you will have lifelong friends and be part of a growing alumni of students whose progress will continue to inspire you to grow in your self-publishing journey. So what are you waiting for? Run to www.vivianwakwe.com/SPMS and use the promo code Vivian10, all in caps lock, to enroll in the next batch. You will thank me for years to come, I promise you. The website is on your screen right now, and also you could find a link below this video. Again, it is vivianwakwe.com/SPMS, and the code again is Vivian10, all caps lock. I can't wait to see you make your dreams come true and have your own children's book come to life.
So I had a talk with my father, and the talk was this. I know you love art, I know you can do very well in art, but I, your father, am an artist, and I have never been financially fulfilled as an artist. Artistry did not give me the financial independence and dreams I had hoped for, and it is not a situation I would wish on any of my children. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go into school and you're going to be professional. You're going to choose a professional course, and come to think of it, that was the first time I wondered, what is professional course? And that was the first time I had heard about it. So what is it essentially? You're going to do medicine, law, engineering, whatever it is, but not art. Art, it can be a hobby. And so I did what my parents wanted. I went in, by the time we finished secondary school, went to university. Of course, again, square peg in a round hole. I didn't do exceptionally well. I was just an average student. One thing I did squeeze fine art into my final set of exams, even though most of the subjects were largely science, but I aced fine art. Other subjects weak, C here. I can't remember where else I had an A, but the A's were definitely not in the sciences. Okay, geography, I had an A. Well, let me not bore you with details. Getting to uni, I so wanted to study architecture because it would then afford me the opportunity to draw. But then again, remember, I was weak in the sciences, so I couldn't get into architecture. So what did I choose? The next best thing, estate management. I just waddled with my mates. But one thing I do know that happened throughout university, in estate management department, we took a lot of courses from different departments. All my architecture courses, I aced them. Straight up. So I finished uni, went into a different field in finance, and later I went to do my postgraduate. And while I was in the United Kingdom, I stumbled upon art again. At a stage, I really wanted to change to the art school in Chelsea, London, but the academic course, particularly for an immigrant, was not was quite pricey. So I did I attempted to do one or two correspondence courses and started networking. And I think Facebook had just started kicking up at then. So I made some contacts online with Nigerian artists living in UK. And, small talk here and there. And I started finding my own feet. And later I had to go to Glasgow in Scotland, and I stayed with hostess, who is like one of my best friends right now. She's Zimbabwean. What happened when I went to Scotland was I had a lot of time on my hands, so I set up my easel and started to do some things, largely portraiture. Most of my early works were realistic. So you get me painting the swans, you get me painting the Scottish bagpiper and things like that. I'll try to put up some of those photos here. But my work it was generalist. It didn't really appeal to anything. So one of those days, I just did this watercolor painting of an old African woman with a bunch of plantains on her back. Plantains are like bananas, and Anna was wowed. And because of her reaction, I just realized, I think I had stumbled upon my niche somewhat. And I'm going to take you back a bit. When I came into London, there was something that made me very aware of the arts and the need to do arts. Anytime I got on the train and got my free copy of the Metro newspaper at the train station, during my ride, I will flip. I think it was on Wednesdays, but on a certain day of the week, they used to have this session where they put up artists that were doing amazing with art. And that was when it actually dawned on me. And I said, I think I could do something in this right now that I'm in a different part of the world. Well, fast forward, I come back to Nigeria and I dropped my easel, my paint, everything, all my mediums. They were just lying somewhere in my house. And one of these days, a friend who was one of the artists I had made contact with while I was in the UK gave me a call, and we talked, and he said, "Oh, how are you going? This. And I was like, "No, it's in my house. I'm looking for a job." I actually had a job. I think I was in consulting at that time. And he said, "No, you can't afford to do this. You're even in Lagos, where there's a heightened awareness about the arts. Have you been to any galleries? Have you been to the uni?" And I said, "No. When are you right?" So he finished speaking to me, and just as we ended our conversation, I look right, and there was a Nike Art Gallery in Lagos, in Lekki, Lagos. So I got down, got into the gallery. Her son, I met him that day. He showed me around, and I was like, "No, I'm going back to my roots." So I took it up again, took up painting. Fast forward 2008, 7, 8-ish, I believe. I'm in Port Harcourt. And again, I had this pull where at that point, art was a hobby. So, I was in a fish farm, and somewhere at the outskirts of Port Harcourt, not like out, yeah, somehow outskirts of Port Harcourt. And someone said, "Wow, do you know the University of Port Harcourt is not too far from here, the main campus?" And I was like, "Really? Take me there." And they took me there, and I found my way to the art faculty. I was told it wasn't a faculty, it was a department. So a couple of people asked me what I really wanted, and I explained to them. I said, I have an interest in art. I want to know how to paint. Can you introduce me to the head of the painting department? It was at that point they told me, no, it's not a faculty. You are actually in the department. And they introduced me to, he's now a professor, Nick Uwakwe. And we had a talk. We still are very, very good friends today. He also introduced me to a couple of lecturers in his department. And I started joining local art societies. And I think the height of my awareness was awakened when I went to the workshop. It's a Hamatan workshop. It's organized by a legendary artist, Bruce Onobrapeya. You go there, you stay there, I believe, is it 2 weeks or something like that? And it's fantastic. You meet people, artists from all walks of life. That workshop, that experience actually told me working and living as an artist is possible. I worked in acrylic, Sam of Wrighty, another well-known artist in Nigeria. Was my supervisor during that workshop. But I met another artist who was like behind the scenes. He was into digital art. And I got curious because I really like computers. I like the thought of working on the internet. So when I got back, I invested in a Wacom tablet and I invested in a HP laptop. And I started doing digital works, and something happened. Just shortly after that, there was this competition opened up by the British Council. And it said something, if I have the screenshots, I'll put it up. And it said something in the line of, what do you think about digital art? Why do you think it's important, or something like that? If you win you have to write your answer in the comment section on Facebook, and the comment that has majority of votes will win a ticket to ArtX, the largest art festival in Africa, and 2 nights or hotel stay, all expenses borne, tickets to and fro, return tickets. And I made a comment out of the abundance of my heart, so to say, about how I love digital art, how I think it's a way forward, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I will find the screenshots of what I actually wrote. And I got the most comments, and I won that competition. So off I went to Lagos ArtX, another awakening, another heightened experience, meeting different artists. The Usho Barra was there, the Onisha, one of the hugest collectors of art in Nigeria, was also there in the panel session. Met several people I can't even begin to recollect, and it was fantastic. And when I came back, I just knew, you know what, it's going to be digital art for me. So from then on, I've been experimenting. I want to mention that when I came back from ArtX, I gravitated more towards graphic design, and it took a couple of years for me to fully believe in my potential to be an illustrator. I familiarized because I'm self-taught. There was just no direct roadmap for me. But I later discovered a couple of things, followed some artist channels, Draw with Jazza, Bobby Chin, followed people like Will Terry, SVS Learn, the 21 Front Group. If you're an artist and you're familiar with digital art on YouTube, you know some of these people I'm mentioning. So it paved my way into art. Another thing happened when I finished from ArtX and came back home. Shortly after that, an opportunity opened up to people living in River State to go to Tech Creek. And what is Tech Creek? It's a technological hub here in Port Harcourt, River State, where they offer different courses. So you have people going in for technical courses, literally. I'm trying to remember, data entry, was it? Things like UI, UX, animation, and I got a scholarship essentially for a 3-month program on animation. So it strengthened my illustration journey. So I'm illustrating, I'm learning illustration. I'm also learning how to move the objects I was creating. Splendid experience. I went for an internship after that. And so that is why I can draw. I can do graphics, I can illustrate, and I can also animate. And I think that trial really, the combination of those 3 things strengthened my skills and increased my confidence to do what I do today. So where am I investing my time today? Have I left traditional art? I would say I've suspended it a bit. I need some planning to be able to do it. Probably set myself a target, maybe 1 painting a month or 1 painting every 3 months later, not just now. My focus is more on illustration. I started off with Afrocentric illustrations. I do them still, but my portfolio is shifting more towards my personal projects in children's book publishing. I'm going to put up a few that I'm doing, and I'm concentrating on African folktales. So in the next video, I'm going to tell you about my new babies, which will be launched pretty soon. And I hope I get all the support I need from you. I hope you learned something from here. If you have questions, drop it in the comment section for me. I'll select 1 or 2 questions and answer in the next video. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. Bye. Subscribe.